Hello all, I'm Marin. Welcome to another reading vlog. This is going to be another reading vlog where I am working on completing the seasonal Goodreads challenges. So Goodreads had 12 challenges for the fall, and I have 4 of them that I need to complete with this vlog. So let me go ahead and talk about my TBR and discuss which challenges they will complete. So the first book I will be reading in this vlog is going to be Immortal Consequences by Ivy Marie. This is going to complete 2 of the challenges. The first one is Hispanic Heritage because the author is of Hispanic heritage. And the second one is for Community Picks, which is a whole list of dark academia because this is a dark academia book. This is a 2025 release and it's one that I pre-ordered, so I do need to get it read before the end of the year. I've not done well at all with reading pre-orders, but at least I can check this one off. I am not sure what to expect from this. I have seen a couple mixed things, but I still think it sounds very interesting. So I'm gonna hope that I enjoy it, but this will be the first book that I read. And then the second book that I'm going to read is Wild Dark Shore by Charlotte McConnaghy. This one has gotten a lot of hype, but this is going to complete the Fiction Faves challenge and also the Goodreads Choice Awards because this has been nominated in the fiction category. If you can hear my cat, she wants to eat, so apologies. But anyway, so that's what you're gonna see in this vlog. Immortal Consequences, Wild Dark Shore, 2 2025 releases, which again, haven't done a real great job of reading books that I've brought into my collection this year, so at least this will check 2 of them off. Hopefully, I will enjoy both of them. We will see how it goes, but that is enough of an intro. Let's get reading on Immortal Consequences.
Listening Library presents Immortal Consequences by Ivy Marie. Read for you by Ashley J. Hobbs, Ethan Reed, Alejandro Antonio Ruiz, Marwan Salama, Shannon Tayo, and Christina Zaharik.
Hello all, I am like 35% of the way through Immortal Consequences, so I wanted to go ahead and give you an update. I am currently on chapter 18, which is page 163. I was listening to a little bit more this morning as I was getting ready for work, but I got to page 111 yesterday. So this is an interesting take on like the dark academia setup, I think, because our characters are dead. That's not a spoiler. We literally find that out in like the first sentence. And they are attending this school basically in purgatory where they are helping souls cross over, but at the same time they are working towards goals of their own. So we have multiple POVs in this book. There are 6 of them. Oh, I just noticed there's a nice map of the school. Okay, I'll have to take a closer look at that. But yes, we are following, let's see if I can get all these POVs. We have Ren. She is kind of the golden girl. She's very smart. She academically is very successful, and she has been in purgatory for 18 years. We find that out as well pretty early on. Then we have Irene. Irene is a little bit more of a bad girl, if you will. She is clearly dealing with the fallout of her upbringing. It sounds like she did not have a great home life, and it's definitely impacting the way she interacts with other people. Then we have Emilio. Emilio is the newest member of the Blackwood Academy. He's the newest person to join the school. So we have his POV. We have August. August is kind of like Ren's rival because he is also very academically successful. It's pretty clear that they are setting up some kind of romance between the 2 of them, although we're not anywhere near that yet. And then we have, let me see, Olivier. He is friends with Emilio, and he has been in Blackwood Academy for a very long time, although we haven't fully heard exactly how long. His POV makes it clear that he's been there a very long time. And when you are in this academy for a very long time, you run the risk of the forgetting, which is basically forgetting all about your life prior to your death. So he is kind of coming up on where that's going to turn into be a problem. Then we have Masika. And Masika is friends with Irene, but she is not sure exactly how Irene feels about her, because again, Irene keeps people at a distance. So those are our POVs. I hope that was 6, but those are the POVs that we have read from so far. Basically, the setup of this is that every 10 years they have something called the decennial, where one of the students is chosen to either like ascend higher in like the academic sphere, or they can decide to move on into the afterlife and do whatever's going to happen, because they don't really know what's going to happen. So the winner of the decennial, or the one who's chosen, gets to make that decision after they pass 4 trials. However, they decide for some reason to change things up in this book. So the decennial that we are now taking part in turns into a competition between 12 students. And the winner will still get to make their choice, but they are basically going to have to face these trials with the caveat that they may not survive them. So at the point that I am reading, we are in the first trial, which involves a maze. So we're getting a little bit of like Triwizard Tournament vibes here, not gonna lie, but I am enjoying it. I do wonder how all of these POVs are going to work for me. The audiobook is full cast, so we have multiple people narrating, which is helpful, but I'm not connected to really anyone as of yet. We're early stages still, but yes, I'm not sure if I'm going to love the fact that we have 6 POVs to follow, but yes, we're in the first task. We've already had some potential deaths, I think, and we're definitely trying to like ramp up the stakes here and let the reader know that this is like serious. So that's where I am. So far it's going fine. Again, I wouldn't say that I'm loving it, but I'm not hating it. So that's about all I can say. I am going to give you another update on this, I think, when I'm halfway through, which should be today, because again, I'm already at 35%. So I'm hoping that I can get at least to the halfway point today and then finish this tomorrow, but we will see how it goes. So there you go. Those are my initial thoughts. It's fine so far, and I'm curious to see exactly how everything's going to play out and how it's going to end, because I know that this is a duology. The second book is supposed to be released next year. So I will let you know also once I'm finished if I'm planning on continuing the series. So far it's fine. We'll just keep reading and see what happens. All right, all. I wanted to go ahead and do another quick update on Immortal Consequences. I am a little bit past the halfway point. I am on page 305, which is chapter 37, and this book is divided into parts. So we have part 5, the beginning. So that's where I am. I have this much left. I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish the whole thing today. I would love to. I do have an extra hour that I can listen today because I do not have a kindergarten class. So hopefully I can get most of the way through this today, if not entirely through it. But we just reached the conclusion of the second trial. Something happened in this trial that kind of amped up the stakes a little bit, so the sense of danger is a little bit more palpable, I guess. We still don't have a lot of questions answered necessarily. We have a new student who has arrived. Her name is Louise. We don't have a POV from her, but she is being mentioned throughout because Ren is befriending her. And we have a little bit more information about her that comes out in this chapter. We had, I guess, some action, for lack of a better word, in terms of like some magical fighting going on. We have these 2 groups of people. So we have Blackwood Academy, which is where these students are attending. And then we have the Demian Order, which is like a group of people who used to attend Blackwood who have kind of like splintered off. And there is obviously some kind of conflict like between the 2 groups, and the Demian Order is potentially infiltrating Blackwood and messing with their magic a little bit. So we get a little tiny bit of conversation about that in the chapter that I just finished. And we are now moving back into Irene's chapter. So there are 4 trials. So we have 2 trials remaining. And yeah, we'll see what happens. There was a little bit of a conversation between Ren and August, who I've mentioned are the ones that are probably going to like become romantically attached at some point. But Ren is being really obtuse about things. August ends up kind of saving her in this last trial. And when she asks him why he did it, he like won't tell her. And she still thinks that he doesn't like her. So it's that stupid trope where the guy is very clearly into the girl and the girl is just being like willfully blind about it. So I would say that's kind of what's going on between them. But again, I'm enjoying it so far. I definitely am not having any issues getting through it with the audio. I like the full cast, but I am very curious to see how much is going to be wrapped up in the last half-ish of this book, because there's still 2 trials left and some explanation that needs to happen. So anyway, that's my thoughts. I'm enjoying it. Hopefully I can get it done today while I am at work. But once it is finished, I will give you final thoughts. I'm not going to do any other like check-ins unless something like earth-shattering happens. But yes, so far it's going well. I'm continuing to enjoy it and I'm happy to finish it off hopefully today. All right, all. I finished Immortal Consequences yesterday, so I wanted to pop on and do a review. I am giving this 4 stars. I actually like this quite a lot. I would say that the twist with this like dark academia setting happening in the afterlife made this more interesting to me. And I didn't find it as pretentious and over the top as I have found other dark academia books, particularly If We Were Villains. That one I really didn't enjoy like at all. So I am pleasantly surprised with this. I would not say that I found anything particularly surprising with this book. There is a reveal that happens about 70% of the way through that I think is supposed to be surprising, but I feel like there were hints and things throughout so that when the reveal actually happened, it was not surprising to me. I think it just kind of fit with the story. And there are also some reveals at the end in the last couple of chapters. Again, nothing was like super surprising to me. So I don't know if I was like subconsciously thinking about these things or whatever, but nothing that happened in here really shocked me, but I still enjoyed it. I liked the multiple POVs. I feel like that added some interesting elements to the story because you're really getting inside multiple people's heads, and I enjoyed that. So I wouldn't say that I connected necessarily with any of the characters, but I am very curious to see how things are going to play out. So I wouldn't say that there is a cliffhanger at the end, but I guess it could be qualified as that. It definitely kind of gets you interested in the second book. This is supposed to be a duology, so I will be reading the second book and finishing out the series. But yeah, I liked this. This is YA. And that also kind of surprises me that I liked it because I haven't had the best of luck with YA in the last couple of years, but I enjoyed this one. So if it sounds interesting to you, I recommend picking it up. It's not going to be anything earth-shattering. It's not a 5-star read, but I did have a good time with it. And I would recommend the audio because it is full cast narrated. So I enjoyed that as well. But yes, this one's done. And when I finished it off on Goodreads, I actually saw that this checked off 3 challenges. So it checked off Hispanic heritage, it checked off community pick, I believe was what it was called. That was just a list of dark academia books. And then it also checked off Goodreads choice because this was nominated in the YA fantasy / sci-fi category. So it checked that one off as well. So that means I only have 1 Goodreads challenge remaining, which will be ticked off with Wild Dark Shore, which I am going to start reading over the weekend because I really want to do a tandem read with this one where I'm listening to the audio and reading it physically. I have heard that the ending has made people cry, so it's not really appropriate to read at work. I don't need to be crying my eyes out at work. And I do want to read this one physically as well. So I want to actually listen to the audio and read it physically. I feel like that will be more impactful. Maybe I'll make some notes, underline quotes, I'm not sure. We'll see what kind of strikes me while I'm reading it, but I am particularly excited about this one. I'm looking forward to reading it. I'm hoping it's a 5-star. As I've mentioned previously, I gave Migrations by her a 5-star. Really liked that one. So this will be the next read for this vlog, but now I need to finish getting ready for work and head off. So I will come back and give you an update on this one when I'm like 100 pages in. Let me see where that's gonna put me. I don't know if these chapters are numbered. Nope, they're not. She does not number her chapters. She just uses like POVs to like delineate where she is in the story. So page 100 will be right here. There are 300 pages exactly in this book. So yeah, 150 would put me halfway, but we'll go ahead and do an update at the 100-page mark, and I'll let you know how things are going. And this will be the final book for this vlog. So I will see you with an update when I have one. All right, all. I am actually like 200 pages into Wild Dark Shore, 205 actually. So I have less than 100 pages left. I said I was going to do an update at like the 100-page mark, but I kind of was just multitasking and I just kept reading through. I was listening solely on audio. I know I mentioned doing like a tandem read. This book is not as impactful to me at this point as Migrations was, and I'm not as fully invested into this story. So I did change my mind and move just to solely audio. I am someone that has to have something to do with their hands. So I was multitasking and listening. We are at the point in the story where some reveals are starting to take place. There's one that happens like pretty early in the story as well, but we still don't have full answers on what exactly is going on here. So we are following a woman named Rowan and a family of 4. We have Dominic, who is the father. Then we have his 3 children. We have Fen, Raph, and Orly. They are the caretakers of this island that is somewhere between the coast of Australia and Antarctica. And they're charged with caring for this island, on which is a vault that holds all of the seeds from like all of the plants across the world. Basically as a fail-safe if the worst were to happen and we would need to replant things for food, etc., etc. So the island is slowly closing down its operations. There used to be a research facility on there as well. It's been emptied out and it's just the Salt family and then Rowan, who washes ashore. So Rowan is hiding a secret as to why she is on this island, and that becomes apparent, like that is revealed to us, I should say, fairly early on. Page 50-ish, if you will. So that is revealed early on, but I won't talk about it here because it is, I guess, a spoiler. So basically right now, Rowan is trying to sort out what exactly went down on the island because she's not believing the story that everyone just picked up and left this family there to like pack up the seeds and stuff. So she doesn't believe that that is the truth and she thinks something else is going on. So that's her angle. Sorry if you can hear noise. My cats are playing right outside the gate here. Anyway, so that's kind of the setup. I just don't feel super connected to any of the characters. And while yes, that's because like we haven't had all of the reveals, I'm just not as pulled into the writing of this one as I was with Migrations. And I'm also having a hard time suspending my sense of disbelief, if you will, regarding why Rowan is there. And I can't really talk about that more without spoilers, so I'm not going to say anything else, but I just don't believe the setup of this one. Maybe that's the best way to put it. So yeah, I'm having an issue with that. I do, as I said, only have like less than 100 pages left, so I'll finish this pretty quickly today. but I just don't know. I don't know if this is going to be a 5-star, and I was really, really hoping it would be because I liked Migration so much, but I liked that one from the get-go. This one was a lot slower to get started, so maybe that's also part of the problem. But anyway, that's my initial update. I'm going to go ahead and get back to reading. I will let you know once I've finished what my full thoughts and things are, but it's definitely not what I was hoping it would be at least 200 pages into the book. So that's that. Let me go ahead and show you where I am right now. This is actually my library. I'm like working on setting it up, and I'll give like a full tour in a vlog or something. But let me go ahead and show you around just really briefly so you can kind of see what I'm working with. Okay, so I do have a gate on the library. As you can see, here are my cats. And the reason for that is because I have a hamster who lives in here, and Sage in particular is far too interested in Toffee, and I obviously do not want her in here stressing him out. So he lives in here, and the gate makes sure that the cats can't get in to bother him. Also, sorry for the messy living room. Kittens, there's toys everywhere, but yes. So this is where they've been sitting. Clover is playing with that toy that I attached to the bottom of this table, so that's that. Sage is trying really hard to get in here because she wants to come in. But anyway, so that's how you enter the library. And then here is kind of just an overview. So I do have bookshelves here. I have a closet here. This is my desk, which obviously I've not put together yet. The printer actually needs to come over to this stand right here. I just haven't had a chance to do it. You can see I still have boxes and stuff, but I did get the majority of the books on the shelf, and I've started to decorate with some of my decor stuff. So there you go. Okay, and then you can also see this is where I've put the Christmas tree to prevent the cats from climbing it and knocking it down. It's just very short. It's like a 4-foot tall tree, I think, but it looks really cute. So I set that up yesterday. I was a little behind with like the Christmas decorations, but you know, life. So anyway, there you go. That's a look at the library. Once I have it fully set up, I'll give you like a more in-depth look at it. I still have like some decor stuff that I need to get out and put away. The desk obviously is still really messy. This thing behind me needs to be taken care of. So yes, that's the library. Somebody had asked if they could like have a look around it. So that's your little sneak peek. But yes, with the hamster in here, I have to keep the cats out. I sometimes let them in when I'm in here, but Sage, as I mentioned, really, really loves Toffee. She'll climb on top of his cage and stuff, and I just don't want to stress him out. So I try to keep her especially out. She's looking at me through the gate, very upset right now. So I'm going to get out of the library because when I'm in here, they want to be in here as well. But anyway, that's a little look at the library. That is my initial thoughts on Wild Dark Shore. Now I'm going to go ahead and get back to reading. I need to do some house cleaning. Obviously, the living room's quite messy. I need to vacuum and things like that. And I have a bunch of laundry to put away. So those will kind of be my goals today. I'm planning on just having like a chill Sunday. We have 1 week of school left before we go out on winter break. So I have 5 days of school left. Thursday and Friday are half days with students. So that will give me some time at school to like get things ready for the start of the year once we return. And hopefully I can get a decent amount of books read throughout that week as well, since I will have extra time to listen. But there you go. That's a little update. Hope you enjoyed the look around the library. Now let me stop talking and officially get back to reading. All right, all. I have finished Wild Dark Shore, and I'm giving this one 4 stars. I just did not like it as much as I did Migrations, and there are a couple reasons for that, I think. I've already talked a little bit about them. I think the multiple POVs didn't necessarily work very well for me, but also I just did not believe the reasoning behind why Rowan shows up on this island. So I think that kind of messed with my enjoyment a little bit, and it just took a while for anything that was like super emotionally impactful to happen. With Migrations, I was pulled in right away with the story and the characters, and that just didn't happen here. So I did tear up a tiny bit at the end, I would say the last 10-ish pages or so. So I think the author was relying on you to have an emotional attachment for that to really hit hard. And because I did not have that, it didn't hit me like it has other people, because people have said that they've cried at the end. I just felt like a little twinge of something. You know, I teared up a little bit, but I just didn't have the attachment to the story or the characters that I was hoping for. And ultimately, I feel like nothing was really that twisty or surprising. This is another book where I guess maybe subconsciously I was already making some assumptions about things so that when the reveals happened, I wasn't that surprised. So I guess that's kind of what I'll say. I also feel like, so Rowan and Dominic is the father, have a little bit of something, if you will, going on in like the latter half of the book. And I didn't necessarily buy that either. So I just think my connection to the characters and the story itself just wasn't there for me. Migrations was definitely better in terms of being fleshed out and really pulling me into the story. That's not to say I didn't like it. Her writing is very beautiful, really atmospheric. You really feel like you're there in the setting, which I really liked. And her descriptions are very, very good. So I liked the writing style. I just didn't necessarily love the story. So I'm giving it 4 stars because I do think it warrants that, even if I was lacking the emotional connection that I was ultimately hoping for. So anyway, it's done. It also means that I have officially completed all of the Goodreads seasonal challenges for the fall because this was my pick for fiction faves. So we can check that off. I have now earned all of the little mini bookmarks, if you will, for all of the challenges that Goodreads did this year, which was a goal that I didn't know that I was going to even have because I didn't know that those little mini challenges even existed. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do next year. But yes, I'm glad that I read this. I just am disappointed it wasn't what I was hoping it would be. So anyway, that's gonna do it. It's finished. I'm gonna go ahead and close out this vlog and end this here. I hope you enjoyed coming along with me reading 2 2025 releases that I was really anticipating. They were both good books, 4 stars for both, so I cannot complain, and I would recommend them both. This one, do check trigger warnings and stuff. There's a lot of stuff that goes down in this one, so check that out if you're sensitive to anything in particular to make sure that this is a book that you will be able to read. But again, highly recommend, even though it wasn't a 5-star. So we're gonna go ahead and end the book here. I hope you enjoyed coming along with me this week. If you did, please leave me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel if you would like to see more from me. If you made it to the end of this video and would like to leave an emoji to show you were here, you can leave a penguin emoji because there are penguins mentioned in Wild Dark Shore. And I will see you in my next video. Bye, everyone.